With the launch of the new season, many players are confused about where their damage went and how they should be building their new characters. Don't worry, I've got you covered. Today, I'll be breaking down how to build the Elementalist class. I used this class all the way back in Season 0 when the game first launched, and what better way to celebrate the 1-year anniversary than starting with Elementalist? In this video, I'll show you how to build the Elementalist so you can deal over 2 billion damage. Let's dive right into it. First, let's talk about the skills. I'll be showing you the build without any chips equipped, so it's easier to follow along and understand how to spend your points. This build focuses on the Elemental Beam skill. It's a simple but powerful laser beam that deals elemental damage. To make this skill as effective as possible, you'll want to focus on a few key upgrades. Start with the Spell Crist spec, which makes the Elemental Beam shoot 2 separate beams in the first tier, doubling your damage output. Next, you'll want the Discordance spec, which causes each stack of Elemental Ailment on an enemy to trigger the corresponding beams, making your attacks even more devastating. Finally, you'll need Motility, which allows you to move at normal speed while using Elemental Beam, and also enables auto-targeting of enemies, ensuring you never miss your mark. Next up, let's talk about the chips. For your armor, you'll want to equip chips that support your elemental damage output and enhance your survivability. For your weapon, choose one of the Fate Bounds that you've unlocked on it to increase your damage and control. Once you've equipped the right chips, your Elementalist build will be ready to unleash some serious power. Now, let's talk about Eidolons. While I'm still figuring out the perfect Eidolon for this build, I think a few will work well with the Elementalist. For your weapon slot, I recommend using the Triumvirate Eidolon over the Archwizard as it boosts your elemental damage better. For the defense slot, the Anubian Eidolon is the best option to improve your survivability, helping you stay alive in tough fights. As for your accessory Eidolon, if you've unlocked it, Varkolian's is a great choice since it boosts your overall damage. However, I still haven't unlocked it yet, but it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Now, let's get into the Fate Bounds you should be equipping. First, I recommend the Epicenter 3-piece Fate Bound, which decreases AoE and range, but increases damage significantly in return. The second Fate Bound to consider is Multi-Shot 3-piece, which will make your attacks shoot additional projectiles, overwhelming your enemies with even more damage. The third Fate Bound you should go for is Lifesteal 3-piece, which will allow you to absorb enemy HP when you attack them, giving you extra sustainability in longer fights. You'll also want to equip the Elemental Core Fate Bound, which increases elemental damage and resistances, making your Elemental Beam even more powerful. Additionally, Elemental Equilibrium will allow you to deal more elemental damage with one element, boosting the damage of all your other elemental types. Lastly, consider using Gravitic Nova, which makes your AoE skills pull enemies closer rather than knocking them back, keeping them in range of your most powerful attacks. Don't forget that you can equip 3 different Fate Bounds on your weapon. By using the chips, you can activate the maximum effect of each Fate Bound, ensuring you're getting the full potential of your build. With the right setup, your Elementalist will be unstoppable. And there you have it, a complete breakdown of how to build your Elementalist class to deal over 2 billion damage. With the right skills, chips, Eidolons, and Fate Bounds, you'll be able to power through the season's toughest challenges.